When it comes to home improvement, you've got choices. Let's say there's a hole in the bedroom wall, and somehow nobody in the house knows how it got there. You could fix it. I mean, there's always YouTube, right? But 3 hours later, it's going to look like a patch job. Not even a good patch job. And how about that leak under the kitchen sink? Yeah, you said you'd get to it, and that was what? 2.5, 3 months ago? If we're being honest, we all have that list. The one where deep down, you're not totally sure you've got the skills to pull it off. If it's my list, I'm calling Mac of all trades. Holes in the wall, handled. Leaky sinks, done. Full kitchen remodel? Yeah, they got that too. And hey, warmer weather's coming. How's that deck looking? Need it extended? Rebuilt? Outdoor patio? Don't be a deckhead. Call Mac of all trades, 585-202-9218. That's 585-202-9218. And you can see all they do online at macofalltrades.net. They'll handle it, so you don't have to.
The only podcast where the host needs a therapist.
An issue for me that I've realized is I need external validation. I need external validation from women.
And wants to be one.
I hear you. I hear you.
From the Mac of all trades studio in Fairport, New York, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pod on. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word. June is Pride Month, and then depending on who you ask, it's a celebration, it's a protest, a marketing campaign, a movement. Maybe it's all those things at once, depending. So today, I wanted to sit down with someone who actually lives it. Not to argue, not to score points, just to have everyone understand a person's experience, because I think that curiosity is something that sometimes we lose and we don't learn about somebody, and then we don't have I just think we don't have the right perspective on things, and sometimes that hurts us. So I would like to introduce Aggy Dune in all her glory.
Well, hello.
Yes, hello. Thank you, first of all.
Of course, anytime.
Because I really appreciate you coming in and making time for this, and I know that you have a lot going on.
Just a few things.
Yeah.
It's Pride season. We have to visit all the children and come down the chimney and leave candy canes. It's a lot.
What does Pride Month actually mean for you personally?
Personally, oh wow, that's a big right off the bat.
I'm sorry,
going right in there. I love this.
I'll go deep.
You just crack the crust and get right in there to the good parts.
Yes, yeah. We got to
like
find your nougaty center.
Pride.
Yes, just a pot pie of pride.
Pride. It is. It's something I've been involved with in Rochester ever since I can remember. Like as soon as I moved to Rochester, I was like, Pride is something you have to be part of. So I've been in like the first Pride parade that we had that went down Main Street a million years ago to High Falls when they were just building that.
Yeah.
And so here's these floats of drag queens and gay people and lesbians on motorcycles all going down Main Street. And there was, of course, it's Main Street in Rochester, so there's nothing there.
Right.
So we're waving to nobody.
Yeah.
But the only people who were there were people protesting. And I go,
oh, really?
Yeah. So to see that from like I'm going to say like the mid-late 80s through now, to go like, okay, we just had a few protesters out there and they're still showing up, but there's so many more people who are showing up to like say, we're here to support. And so now like we're not just waving to nobody. We're having a lot more fun with it.
Is it something you look forward to every year?
That's like saying, like, do you look forward, as a parent, do you look forward to having like Christmas time and all the headaches that go with it? The actual festival and like all that, yes, but no. Right. It's a lot of work and it's a lot going on, but it's also like a lot of fun. And so it's like the most joyous time of the year.
So has the meaning changed for you at all as you've gotten older, I'll ask? Like,
yes, I think our perspectives and everything
changes. Sure. I don't think we're the same person we were 5 years ago.
No, 5 years ago, 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I mean, very well. 5 minutes ago. I'm already over it. No, I think you're definitely changed. At first, it's like, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it kind of thing. And now you're like, I'm here and I'm here to like kind of, I don't know what you do with it now. You're just you're more in tune to where you are in the world and how you can make a bigger difference as opposed to just being loud and proud and just out there like waving your flag. So for me, it's like meeting all these different people. And as a drag performer, I kind of feel like my job and my responsibility is to be that, I'm going to say like community cultural liaison. I may be the first official queer person that you've met. So I have to make sure that it's a positive experience for people. I'm sort of like that bridge, that the gateway drug to the gay community. I'm like, wait, there's one of those sparkly ones. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can get it. She's going to induct me into the community. But I think it's like if you can meet somebody, especially people who are like so afraid of the gay community or the pride movement or whatever, and you meet somebody one-on-one, you can have a conversation. But when people are so diametrically opposed how we are in today's society, I think that it immediately like, oh my God, is there rainbows or a sparkly wig or a man in a dress? Oh my God, we hate this. This is the worst thing in the world. Right. But when you can talk to people one-on-one, you can really meet them where they're at and find out that all of us have a lot more in common than we have differences. And if we allow like this whole movement of like dividing our country and dividing our different people's beliefs or lifestyles or whatever you want to call it, and you can find out that we're actually more in common. So,
do you think like when you talk of the division, I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I feel like it's enhanced by social media.
Oh my God, it is a megaphone for it.
Because I think that everybody wants to feel like they're right.
Oh, yeah.
And correct in their opinion.
And they want to seek out other opinions that support how they feel.
And so the algorithm feeds them that, right? Yeah. This is what they like. This is what they... So therefore, everybody in the world agrees with them.
Exactly.
And it's an interesting thing for me because I always go, well, by definition, an opinion would be halfway between fact and fiction. Now, I've had people who have doctorates in philosophy tell me that that's a little bit of a flawed definition, because you can have an opinion that has a higher percentage of fact and an opinion that has a higher percentage of fiction. It is a mixture of the two. But I would say it's a mixture of the two. And so I would ask you, what do people who aren't part of the LGBTQ community, what do they misunderstand about pride?
Well, I think it depends, for that question, on what side of the spectrum are you falling. If you're not part of that community, where are you? Are you on the extreme left or the extreme right, or you're somewhere in the middle? I think for most, I can't think of anybody out there these days with the young people are so, I'm going to say, emboldened to be themselves, that they're just a lot more forward with that again goes back to social media. Maybe they're like, I found other people who are like me, so I'm more emboldened to express who I am as a person. So I don't think there's any family or anyone out there who doesn't have somehow, somewhere in the many branches of their family, that there isn't a few fruits hanging off of the branches somewhere. So I don't know how they can look at that and say that, you can see that person is like, obviously, like if let's say it's your brother's kid, it's your nephew, and you go, I've always known since he was 3, he's just drawing women's shoes all the time. I'm like, okay, we might have an indication. Yeah. There will be signs.
But pause that for a second, because the idea that you can be conditioned to be gay, I'm going to say, is a very false premise. Oh. I have 3 sons. They like trucks. We used to go look at construction equipment. They were, right? I think they were given a doll by somebody, and at first it was kind of a novelty, and then it wound up at the bottom of the toy box. It wasn't where their interest was. So I didn't condition them that way. I didn't go, get these guys trucks and make sure they have footballs and jock straps, and you know what I mean? It just was kind of the way it was. So when if people are born that way, I even think that, not to take it too far off topic, but that we have what is now referred to as MAPs, which are, right, and you know what a MAP is, yes. So it would be, people who are into kids, find children attractive, right? Minor attracted person is what MAP stands for. And I'm going, you probably were born that way. Now, I will say this. I bet everybody has someone who is a MAP that they interact with regularly on their life, but that person doesn't act on it.
Yeah.
But they are minor attracted.
Yeah.
And so that's a weird thing, right? Say that to somebody and woo, right? Everybody's sphincter gets tight and they run the other way. I just think that we aren't honest sometimes with things, with ourselves. And I think a lot of people, one of the things that I'm learning to do, and I was terrible at until, is to kind of sit with your feeling and try to go, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
What is the underlying thing? Where did the conditioning come from for this vitriol that comes out of people?
Because I always if you look at like little kids and kids are playing, they're all at the daycare together. Kids don't inherently hate anything. They don't hate other people. They don't see differences. This is my best friend. We're twins.
Yes.
And one is black and one is white, and they don't even see that. They go, we're twins. Everybody says it. We look alike. And that's what kids are. They're conditioned through, whether it's like their religions or their family beliefs or, a very strong, parenting style or whatever it is, that they're taught to hate certain types of people or certain things about themselves.
Right.
So I just think that
which is very unfortunate.
It is.
I really believe that. If you could explain pride to, let's say, a 10-year-old,
okay,
what would you say about pride itself?
I would say to a 10-year-old, because you have to explain it in a 10-year-old's mind of what makes sense.
Yep.
So I say, as a 10-year-old, I'm like, tell me who the 10-year-old is, and I'll tell you the story of how to tell it to them. So it's a 10-year-old who has what kind of parents?
A 10-year-old whose dad is super macho, right?
Yep.
I don't know, motorcycles, big trucks, and is over testosterone, right?
Overcompensation.
Yeah,
sure.
overcompensation in a certain way. I will say that. I'm a big fan of noticing overcompensation. Let's say that, and mom is more of a fawning response. She just kind of, whatever dad wants, she's there to please him and make him happy, and whatever it is, and she's going to go along.
Cleaver.
You got it. And but there's no real opinion because mom doesn't know who she is exactly because this is where mom came from and that's what she's attracted to.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what her thing is. So for that kid, I would just say what pride is, it's so you have your mom and your dad and they love each other. Yeah, okay. Well, now you've got Billy that you go to school with and he has two dads. But is that different than your mom and dad? And they go, well, he has two dads. I'm like, yeah, but is that any different? So the pride is so they say that it's okay for us to I like these two people. These are my parents, and I'm proud of them. So to another kid, if you put it into the kid's perspective of somebody else he knows at his age, I'm like, so this is so that his family, which is different than yours, says we're proud of who we are, and you are proud of your mom and dad, and this one, and then Sally over here is proud of her two moms, and she's proud of that. So it's pride in your family and who you are as a person, and it's just about being your own way to express who you are as a person, and just say I'm proud of what I am. I'm a good person, and that's all I have to say. So a kid to a 10-year-old, and they go like this. Oh wait, that's all it is? I go, yeah, just being proud of everything that makes you special at who you are. And then the kids go, oh, I get this. And then they immediately go, I want to wear a rainbow. They go, and I'm like, we're not inducting you. We don't want that at all. That is not, this is we're far, far away from that. But it is just letting kids know, on a way that does not say, this is a sexual thing. Because I think that for so many, it goes straight to that. And I go, well, is that really what life is all about? Is really, the big scheme of things, how many minutes a day is that for you?
What's that?
Having sex.
Something that I have seen a lot online, going back, and it's a George Carlin comedy piece. Are you familiar with?
Genius.
Yes, but okay. But is this something that? Well, I'll play the clip if you don't mind.
He said so much.
He did.
Yeah.
And I will. Well, I'll save my thoughts for later.
Kids have to be warned that there's bullshit coming down the road. That's the biggest thing you can do for a kid. Tell them what life in this country is about. It's about a whole lot of bullshit that needs to be detected and avoided. That's the best thing you can do. No one told me. No one told me a thing like that. I was never warned about any of this. Had to find all of it out for myself. And there are still, as with you probably, a lot of things that you're expected to believe and accept in America that I personally have a problem with, and I question a lot of these things. To give you an example, I saw a slogan on the guy's car. It said, "Proud to be an American." And I thought, well, what the fuck does that mean? Proud to be an American. You see, I've never understood national pride. I've never understood ethnic pride because I'm Irish, and all four of my grandparents were born in Ireland, so I'm fully Irish. And when I was a kid, I would go to the St. Patrick's Day parade, and I noticed that they sold a button that said, "Proud to be Irish." And I could never understand that because I knew that on Columbus Day, they sold a different button that said, "Proud to be Italian." Then came Black pride and Puerto Rican pride, and I could never understand ethnic or national pride because to me, pride should be reserved for something you achieve or attain on your own, not something that happens by accident of birth. Being Irish... Being Irish isn't a skill. It's a fucking genetic accident. You wouldn't say, "I'm proud to be 5'11". I'm proud to have a predisposition for colon cancer. So why the fuck would you be proud to be Irish or proud to be Italian or American or anything? If you're happy with it, that's fine. Do that. Put that on your car. Happy to be an American. Be happy. Don't be proud. Too much pride as it is. Pride goeth before a fall. Never forget Proverbs, okay? Now, here's another slogan. Here's another slogan you run into all the time. God bless America. Once again, respectfully, I say to myself, what the fuck does that mean?
But you get the thing.
Yeah.
What do you think he got right? I mean, he says they're being proud of things you accomplish, not things you're born into. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree with that.
I can go, okay, I can understand like that point of view of it. Yeah.
Would you say, and I'll ask this thing, when we talking about an accomplishment, and you just talked about something that I think is so important for everyone to be, because I think we've heard it most of our lives, be yourself. Yeah. Now it's be your authentic self, and that's what you had said. But in cases where you described trying to read people, trying to figure out how should I be because I'm not.
Right.
So would the acceptance of who you are at your core be an accomplishment?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the hardest thing to do.
Okay. I agree. I think that sitting and figuring out who you really are is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, if you ask somebody point blank, tell me exactly who you are, they just freeze because they have no idea. Because everyone is putting on masks every day of like to hide the parts of them that they may not be like is comfortable with, or that they think they'll be judged by somebody else, whether they're straight or gay or whatever their thing is. And so I think that we all put on so many masks. So many people are not sure of who they are. And when you meet somebody like a transgender person, I had done they were filming a documentary, and I was out there for part of it, totally separate from this documentary. It was on Amazon called Becoming Jane was the documentary, but I was out there because they were doing a transgender, basically a star search, and I was doing the hair and makeup for all the fashion shoots and things for it for the company I was working for. And you get out there, and it's all transgender people who are competing for this modeling agency's representation, and they only represent transgender individuals. It's called I'll think of it in a second. But but we meet these people, and because they know so sure of who they are, they have gone through all of those barriers of like the things they're afraid of, and then embrace who they are. And because they're so sure of they are, they're so powerful. And you're just like, this is this wave of genuineness that's coming at you, and they're so powerful that you're literally moved to emotions on this, because you're like, this person knows who they are and the space they take up in the world, and they're confident in all of that. And that scares the crap out of the people who are trying to like make sure that you put up more masks, or they're not sure of themselves, so that person is so sure of who they are, it's terrifying to other people.
Pride, when we call it pride, is it really about being proud of who you are, or is it more of I'm not going to be ashamed of who I am, refusing to be ashamed?
I think it's a refusing to go back into a closet. So I'm like, you're not going to put me where you want me because it's comfortable for you in the world.
Yeah.
I am going to be in the world as myself. And are we going to have a parade? If people go, do we need a pride parade?
Right.
We've passed all
Right.
these different laws.
Yes.
And do we need that? And then when you go, well, we passed a law that says you could put up a flag in Webster, and then 3 days later you take that away, it shows you how quick things can change. So the more that I always challenge somebody who says, do you still need a pride parade? Do we still need to like celebrate a month of pride? I challenge anybody to like go to any of our local news, social media, and look at the post. And if it's about a pride thing, read all the comments, and then read through the 700 comments and go, wow, 690 of these comments are hate. Yeah, you need pride because you need to put that out there, because these voices on social media are so loud and so obnoxious, and because they get to hide behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
That until that you put it up there and then people just go, oh, happy pride, and it's over, then you don't need it anymore, because it's like then you've got integration into the things that people are just people.
Because I don't think people are walking around saying I'm amazing because I'm gay.
No.
I think they're walking around saying I'm not going to hide.
I'm not going to hide
because I'm gay.
I'm like, why do we have St. Patrick's Day parade? I'm like,
Yeah.
Right. Why? Why? It's like,
Because we like to get drunk and pretend.
Yeah, that we're all Irish.
I don't even know. I don't think most people know.
Why.
I mean, look, the Irish story is a pretty traumatic one.
It's really, when you like get through like, well, don't look at the American like school version of like,
no,
don't. That's totally.
The whole thing about like the potato famine.
Oh yeah,
it's a fucked up story. Because it's not true.
It's not true.
I mean, was there a potato famine? Yes.
Yes.
I mean, are there crops that every year something happens and we don't do it? But Ireland had enough food.
Yeah.
They had to give it to England.
They had to give it to England.
You got it.
Exactly.
And so now we had starving people and they didn't give a shit. So the Irish were like, well, fuck, yeah, what were we going to do? Yeah. I have a grandmother that came over. I think she was 17. You couldn't come over as a child. I always thought she came over at 9. But I don't think you could come as a child. So I don't know what story I heard. But, try that at 17 years old.
Yeah, take that
to come
to
a new code. Now, they spoke the language, so that helped.
So that helped. But they were still, like, as a group,
yes,
that's the villain.
Yes.
That's the villain. They're coming for your
Yes.
jobs. They're coming for this. They're disease-ridden. They're going to attack your children. It's all of that thing. And then we just go, it's the same playbook. They've just changed the word of, like, the group that we hate right now.
I want to pivot to something that I hadn't really thought about necessarily to talk to you about, but you have an unbelievable presence about you. When you come out as Aggy Dune, you have an unbelievable presence, but in person, as authentically you, you are you. And I just will ask you, when you talked about in the 80s, how was that for you to come out, to tell people who you really were, to admit that you love someone of the same gender?
Yeah, it was coming from a small town. I came from Watkins Glen.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Shit, man.
You're so excited.
Well,
now.
because I love going down there once in a while, and I have a friend who sets up his shop at the racetrack. So he'll repair a lot of the cars, and now he's started renting cars that you can take out on the track. And I love racing the old track too, through the
town.
Through the town, but I mean, you go through the wood. They're fucking cart paths. Tom.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing there.
My grandparents were the original founders of the Grand Prix.
They were.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all of the cars.
So
at the
how
time,
did they have a gay person? They were all motors and oil, buddy.
Yeah,
and gasoline,
and did not care at all.
Of course they didn't,
because for my grandparents, they had the service station right on Franklin Street, Main Street of Watkins Glen, and so my grandmother still there, and they do reenactments of like the first Grand Prix things.
Yeah,
there.
they do,
and there are people who dress up as my grandmother and do the reenactments there because she started all of the safety inspections for the cars.
She did.
Yeah, she did. Not my grandfather. My
Yeah.
grandmother did. So it was all these
So
things.
we have
and
heard
these-
us thank, and I say this,
things,
like, I mean, the harness.
all those things. That
Yeah.
was like, that goes back to my grandmother. And so they have buildings dedicated to her up at the Grand Prix and that because they were a big part of that. And those cars, every car that came through the garage, and that was the inspection point for all of those cars.
Okay.
For the early races.
Yeah.
So now people dress up as my grandmother and impersonate her for this reenactment, which I go, well, that's not much further than what I'm doing.
100%.
It's a full circle moment. Now I want to go back, and I'm like, this year, the part of Flossie Smalley will be played by Aggy Dune.
Oh God, that'd be
so good.
Yes. Now, Watkins Glen. I grew up in a very small rural town that was the largest school district in New York State per square mile.
Okay.
Okay, so I worked in northern Dutchess County, Pine Plains, New York, is where I went to high school. I grew up in a town called Clinton Corners. It was long distance to call from where I lived to Pine Plains.
Wow.
They were a different area code. And
Oh, you had area codes.
Yes.
We only had 4 numbers.
What? Oh, you did?
Yeah, we only had 4 numbers.
Wait, and it rang at the person's house, or do you
Yeah.
have an intermediate? Really?
Yeah, you just dialed 4 numbers.
I didn't
You
even
didn't
know
dial
that.
like the 585 or
Were they
the,
a party line?
No.
Oh, because
It's-
I had a
because the
party
sound-
line.
The
in the
town was
beginning.
so small
Yeah.
that everybody had the same exchange and the same area code, so you only had to dial the last 4 numbers.
Oh,
So my home phone number was 6537.
okay.
So you only had to know that. I
Yeah.
still know my aunt's was like 4422.
Yeah.
The garage where my dad worked at was 2001. So you just remember those phone numbers because there was only 4 numbers.
Yeah.
Now you got to have an area code and everything else.
So
Can't do it.
what was it like then to come out in there? Because I can remember a kid that very flamboyant. I think obviously
Mm-hmm.
gay, but certainly couldn't say anything. And in that small
He's
little
just in the
redneck
arts.
Well, everybody who's into like hunting and but back then, I think guys had guns in their trucks because they would hunt after school.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just got to pick up in a gun rack.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going to drive a Pinto blowabout.
That's funny.
Yeah, I think my dad was trying to kill me.
What was the Pinto was not I mean they were didn't they have mid-engine fired? No, that's
No,
I'm thinking the wrong one.
if they had a rear end, like collision, if somebody hit the back of
that's
it,
right.
they would blow up because
Yes.
the gas tank was right at the bumper.
Right at the bumper. I
Yeah.
remember my parents had
Loved it.
a
Makes you appreciate life. You never know. This could be my last day.
it's true.
It's true.
But what was when did you
I think.
did you wait till you left?
No,
Watkins Glen?
no.
You
I
didn't?
mean, I didn't. I think I had my graduating class was only 100 people.
I had 68
yeah.
and only 65 walked.
Yeah, well, that's not bad.
No, that was pretty good.
Statistically,
Right,
that's
no,
not bad.
no.
We'd give anything for that now. So no, I think at the time it was just and I was the kid who was like the smallest one, and I'm definitely the oddball out. And I had my little group of friends, but then you realize 10 years later you look back and you run into these people and you go, oh, we were all the gay kids. We didn't even say it to each other because they were just all the misfits that sort of like all like the magnets of different types of things attracted each other, and then you're like, okay, we're just the odd misfits. But in high school, I discovered the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it was still like in theaters.
Okay.
And so I just gravitated to that and found my tribe of freaky misfits and all that. And so I just leaned into it. And so when you'd get the kids in school, fag, I go, yeah. And then suddenly they were like, I don't have a follow-up to this. I hadn't really thought of it. And so I think you kind of diffuse it when you just go yeah. And
But how old were you?
16, 17.
Yeah, that's young to have that kind of confidence for that.
For that, and then you go like, I'm going to be out of this town. I kept going, when I was a kid, I was like, I started crawling to the county line when I was a baby because I'd already seen everything there was to see.
Yeah, Watkins Glen is pretty
And then
small.
they're like, oh, it's just an 18-year sentence. I'm like, okay. So then
It's an 18-year sentence. That's hysterical.
when I walk across that graduation stage, I just kept walking.
Yeah.
And then I got tired when I got to Rochester. So I go, this will do.
What was your family like? Did you come out to them? Was there...
Yes, but
You did.
like also I never felt like I had to.
Okay.
So like, I'm really into Rocky Horror and dressing up and going as Frankenfurter every weekend to the movies. And so that first year I was really into that. I remember my mother for Christmas. It's like you go down and like, oh, what's under there? It was the platform shoes under the tree and a garter belt hung like tinsel or like garland on the tree. And she goes, I knew you wanted this for your costume, so I got it for you. So they were really like,
that's a really loving,
yeah,
accepting.
So I didn't tell her officially, like for like I don't know, like 3 years after that. And then she's all crying, and I'm like, oh my God, what? And she goes, why didn't you tell me before? I'm like, I assumed you knew. She goes, yes, I did, but why didn't you just say something? I'm like, well, I figured like wearing like garter belts and fishnets going to the movies was enough. But sorry, I didn't say it earlier. But you were afraid of losing the people that you love the most, that they may abandonment. So you don't do it, but you're like, I'm going to keep pushing the boundary until you ask me, because I don't want to be the one to do this, to say it, but I'm still not going to not be me. And then when you finally do, and you realize that the people who truly love you regardless. And the people who truly love you have always known, whether or not they knew officially. They're like, there was always something. You really enjoyed that old limerick, rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. Like, I don't know.
What? And Dad was
cool. He was like so cool. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
He was just like, he raced stock cars on dirt tracks.
Yeah.
So did I do that as a kid? Yeah, because that's what your dad does.
Yeah, sure.
Did I like it? No. I wanted to be Miss Dundee Speedway.
You did, yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But he was the president of the Speedway. So
he was
as
the
a
president
dad,
of the Speedway.
So as a dad, and this teenage kid comes like, well, I want to be Miss Dundee Speedway. I'd rather be that than race the cars. And he goes, I don't know if that would look good because I'm the president of the Speedway. So I don't think you should probably be, Miss Dundee Speedway, because I think it would look bad, that it would look like it was fixed for you because, I'm the president. So instead of saying, I don't think the world's going to accept like the little cross-dressing kid, instead.
That is a brilliant parent, though.
Yeah.
Because the other would just build shame in you.
Yeah.
Put you
Instead,
back
just
in
like,
the closet.
No, I don't
How
think.
the fuck is a guy from Watkins Glen who's
I
turning
don't
wrenches
know.
get that?
And when
That, like, honestly, as I'm thinking, I go, if someone says that to you, the way...
Right, and you're talking to it to a language that a kid that age can understand. So
Sure.
when you asked that question earlier, it made me think of when my parents got divorced when I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And then my mom sat me down like, your dad and I are going to be, your dad's moving out. I go, oh, okay. Why? And she's like, well, we don't like sharing a bedroom, and we don't have another bedroom in the house, so he's going to get his own place somewhere else. I go, oh. She goes, do you like sharing a room with your brother? I go, no. So she goes, so you understand? I go, okay.
Yeah.
And so to a kid, it was just I don't need to know that, like, whatever your situation is, or, this one cheated on what or whatever. I don't need to know any of that as a kid.
No.
You put it in a kid's perspective of, like, how they can relate it to themselves. So I think that that's how my parents have always kind of, like, talked to you at that age. And so I think that's why when you talk to, like, the kid we talked to earlier, it's like, what is it in a kid's perspective that they can understand?
Right. A lot of times the argument that will be pushed back against pride is, I don't care what anybody else does.
No.
As long as it doesn't affect my life.
Right.
And I can say that about drug use or
anything,
guns, all this, right? However, I think that most people go, well, why do they have to have this if I can't have? I don't have white American Day.
Yeah, you do. It's called You Woke Up.
I got it.
You know what it is? It's the conversation we just had. It's that kid who didn't have any other recourse but to say, yes. I can't go on living in this world. Right. So to have it for that, to say it's going to be, there are people out there.
That is
for
what
you.
I'm taking from this conversation.
So when you see a Pride in like Rochester, and it's big, and we have this huge thing, it's now in Highland Park, and Trillium Health runs the whole thing. And when you see something like that, but you're in Macedon or some other like little podunk town in upstate New York that we have 1 billion of, and that's your mecca that you're hoping to one day get to. That light needs to keep shining out there for those kids that are in these like Watkins Glens or Painted Post or wherever they're those little towns, and going, one day my tribe is out there. I just have to get to them.
Do you feel a responsibility to younger people?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that all of us do. That like you're trying to make it a path that's less troublesome for the people behind you. So you're stomping down and creating that path so the next one behind you has a little bit easier, so they can make that path a little bit easier for the one behind them. Because you know how hard it was for you to get where you are now. So you don't want. I think it's a parent kind of thing. As we get older,
sure.
you go into parent mode, and you just go, I just want to make it easier for my kids.
Right.
Even though, like, I don't know who most of these people are.
What is the, I think a lot of times too, modeling certain behavior or the way you handle the flag coming down
Yeah.
is a pretty
Well,
logical answer. Online criticism.
Online criticism, the bait is there for you to take if you want it. You're like, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna keep this hate going back and forth and just fuel this whole thing. Or you can get involved in politics and try to make changes that are positive for the overall community. You going online and A, reading those comments, or going online and B, feeding into those comments, that's completely, it does nothing. It accomplishes nothing.
I saw, and maybe you saw this too, a social media post. I almost reached out to this person to see, again, just looking to, I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. I want to know about different people. But I think in this one, it was women at maybe a gay pride something. It might have been about the flag coming down. I don't know. And they were screaming, like really, really screaming. And it's not a good look.
It's not
for them, but I don't know.
But you also go, these are people so passionate that they don't know any other recourse.
Yeah.
So they're going out and doing it. I think for me that my perspective on a lot of it is that because I'm in the public eye of like being on stage and being a performer and being like, I do so many things that are in the public eye that I have to monitor like how I truly respond to things and to make a more thoughtful approach to whatever it is. And I don't think that most people have that because they live anonymously in the world and they can do whatever they want and there's no repercussions. I go, well, if you're a person in the public eye, there's repercussions immediately. So those people, I understand when they get so passionate they have to do that. Whether they're on the right or the left, I get that they're like just feeling like there's nothing else I can do. I've got to scream it. Like they're chaining themselves to a flagpole, and you go, I think that we're in that level of what you just don't know what to do. And again, that's why things like pride has to happen, so that those people go, okay, if I just go to these other people, go, okay, we're all going to be okay. We're going to be all right. It's just another policy. If you don't like that, here's the 3 names of the people who voted, no, you can't have this. Vote them out. Don't boo. Vote.
Yeah, it's a more mature way, I guess, but I would also say a more thoughtful way.
A thoughtful way, because
right. It's
if
a
you're feeding
really
into that, like throwing more fuel on the fire, it's just that's a great thing. If you guys are all fighting, you're not seeing everything else that's going on.
Right. I would say, has anyone ever shared a story with you about, well, I guess I'll say a story with you that showed you your work mattered? Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Good.
Which is always humbling because you just go like, I just want to go out, do what I do, on a selfish way. I'm like, I'm just getting like love and applause from people, and you get addicted as a performer is like getting that all the time.
Right.
But we were doing a brunch or something, and it was like in the middle of like somewhere.
Did you start all the drag queen brunches? Did you start all
Kasha
this?
Davis and I just doing these like brunches all over because it's. You realize that the crowd itself is like not everyone wants to go out to like the 12 o'clock midnight show at the gay bar, and you also don't want all those same people there. So how can you make this more approachable for people to like go out and go, how do you, I'm changing, when the world is changing so much and you're vilifying a whole group of people.
Sure, but how do you make that pitch to the restaurant?
Most restaurants are looking like, what can we do to get people in the door?
Okay.
And you're like, if it says you need to bring in the carnival acts, you go like, try it. Try it once. If it doesn't work, and that's how when we first initially did it. If that doesn't work, what are you out? Nothing. But I'm like, TV show's really popular. RuPaul's Drag Race is popular. People want to see it. Yeah. There's a curiosity factor. We just did a show. Well, they just recently closed Robbie's. Do you know Robbie's Bar and Grill out in Hilton, Greece? That way.
Not Charlotte.
They have like a Trump statue in front of it.
Okay.
You walk in, they sell Charlie Kirk T-shirts, and we believe in God, guns, and Trump. All this paraphernalia everywhere. It is just that. And they hired us to come do a brunch there.
They did?
And I was like, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Todd Youngman, he's like, I've done some comedy things there. I just want you to know this is the kind of bar it is. So if you guys are doing a brunch there, I don't want you to walk in and be blindsided. So I'm like, okay. So we had a few people who were scheduled to go, who were to perform, and they just went, I don't feel comfortable going.
Okay.
And I'm like, I understand. But I'm like, we have to go, and we're going to do this. And it was all like 40 to 60-year-old women hammered out of their minds.
Yeah, baby.
10:30 in the morning, they are completely bombed.
Oh, man. 2-for-1 mimosas.
They are just pounding and smoking their vape pens right at the bar, and just that it's just such trash. But they're bringing like dildos to drag brunch. I don't know why. This is their thing. So I'm like, okay. And so we're going out, and they're just like wanting to stuff dollar bills down our outfits like strippers. And they're reaching up and to stuff things out, like shove it in. And I'm just going, I don't understand. But I also go, I don't know if they know what
repressed.
This is. I don't know what it is. But those are my people. But they bought so much of my merch that I have out there that is just really kind of making fun of them. They're buying all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm selling a ton of this crap to them. And then talking to them after the show, talking to the owner and then the bar manager. I'm like, we did not want to come here because of like the type of bar this is. And they go, what do you mean? We let everybody in here. I go, well, if you have to say that, you don't let everybody in. But because of everything that you have up on the walls and all that says, I'm not welcome here.
Yeah.
And so, but they go, well, then why'd you come here? I go, if I don't come here and meet you where you're at, I don't want to say change your mind. I can't open your mind to see it from my perspective. I'm like, would you ever consider coming to one of the gay bars to see one of these shows? Because you said you had a great time and you'd go again. They go, well, no, I wouldn't feel comfortable going to one of those bars. I go, okay, now just take that and hold a mirror to it. That's how I felt coming here.
Real quick on the business side of drag queen, nobody sees the bookkeeping. Nobody sees the time it takes to get ready. Nobody sees the cost of the wigs, the outfits, the stuff. What is that side like? The marketing, the travel.
There's so much.
Yeah.
It's
like a full-time
those who
job.
take it professionally and like say is it something I enjoy doing? Yes. How do I transfer this into a business and to make a living at that? And you can make you can make an amazing living at that. But is it expensive? People go, oh, can I just borrow that wig? I go, well, sure. I mean, I could give you where I had it made, and you can.
Wait, you had it made?
Yeah. So you have them. Yeah, you have people who make it. I don't have time to do it anymore. So so I have made. I'm like, but like the wig was.
Wait, but you made your own in the past?
Yeah,
I think
like,
you just bought wigs. Like you just went to a wig store and bought a wig.
No,
oh, I didn't know this.
No. Well, yes, you can buy them there.
Yes.
But then like, so here it is. It's sort of like, and shake it and go, and you'd look like Spirit Halloween. So they need to be styled into
Yes,
that.
they
And
do.
so like, and generally like the queens that you go, wow, that looks really amazing, is like 3 wigs sewn together and stacked and created. And so it's, heavy, hot.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
structure. There's a whole there's like a small village that lives in there that makes it run. But I'm like, but that wig was like $800. So I'm like, do I want to loan it to you for like a birthday party? No. I'm like, how about, can I borrow that outfit? I go, the outfit was $2,500.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
I'm like, but if you want to buy it, I'm like, I'll sell it to you for $2,000 and I'll just go buy something else. But so they go, it costs that much? I go, yeah. Yeah, this is, yeah. I mean, or you could be like the one over there. I go, well, she's not very good. And I go, yeah, that's because that outfit came from like,
it's kind
Forever
of
21.
An art.
It's
what
an
you
art,
do
yeah.
is an art.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, so you're creating a whole nother person.
Yep.
A personality, a persona, and then like the whole armor of everything.
Having
they're
sat
wearing.
here and talked to you and having seen you perform and having actually, I think they call it sharing a stage. I think we've shared a stage before.
Yeah.
I could see this is you and that's just an extension of you. Maybe an exaggerated version.
An exaggerated version of like the one who
Yes.
goes, oh, I don't have guardrails when I've got all this on because I can do whatever I want.
Yes. Yeah.
I can say like really jokes that you probably shouldn't say, but
Yeah.
I can do it in that because you're like, oh, it's just part of the act.
Yeah. I just don't think most people appreciate all that goes into it. What does an ideal world look like for Aggy Dune? What would that look like?
Oh, an ideal world. In what aspect?
I don't know.
An ideal
just
world.
say-
Let's see. I never have to do a show past 2 p.m. No. Ideal world. Just one where people just sort of coexist and say like, everybody is so different and everybody brings so many different things. And I I think if you just focus on your life and less about others,
Yes.
that you just start, it's like, just focus on the good things in your life.
Yes.
Focus on those. Focus on your family, the people that matter.
Yeah.
Life is not guaranteed.
No.
Be kinder to yourself. That we beat up on ourselves so much about like saying, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not worthy of this. I think if we can be a little kinder to ourselves, and just, you know, I'm like one of the ones who for a long time like hated getting older so much that I would just like fight it and just like I can't stand getting older. And then I think it's like growing up in the 80s and having so many people I knew that were like in their early 20s and dying of AIDS, and just going to funeral after funeral after funeral after funeral. It's like so you get up, you go to work, and then we're going to go to a funeral, and then we're going to go dancing, and then tomorrow we're going to do the same thing and go to work and go to another funeral and then go dancing, because you just have to keep that cycle of like, why are you going out dancing? I'm like, because I need to enjoy something in life, because you don't know, like that middle spot, that funeral part, that could be me in just a few weeks. So you have to.
How scary was that time?
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And knowing that, again, there was nowhere to turn.
If anybody listening left this conversation remembering one thing, what would you want that thing maybe to be for you?
I hope that if they can, one thing, be kinder to each other. Be more patient with one another. Be more patient with people in your family. They're all going through things, and they're trying to figure out everything in life, and we're all on that journey of figuring things out. And right now you might be very righteous on what you think your thing is, but everyone's going through something. Take a moment, take a breath, and have a conversation. Just sit down with somebody who's completely different than you, and just hear each other's stories.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it has to change your political views. It doesn't have to change like any of your things. But when you can see the world through somebody else's experience, it changes that you're like, oh, okay. It's not just about me in the world. So just take a moment and be kind.
Boy, that's really interesting, because so many, I mean, there are people who weren't speaking to other family members and things.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I find that so sad that you couldn't work past something like that.
Yeah, we all want to dig our feet in at times and
Yeah,
just
sure.
go like, no,
Yeah.
I'm so mad at this.
Right.
And life is really short, and you don't want to carry that anger with you, because the only thing that's hurting is yourself.
Right.
So, you know, if there's a person who's toxic and not healthy for your life and your experience, distance yourself for now. But just have conversations.
Yeah.
You'll find that like a lot of that is just self-imposed. So stop.
Sure.
So
Right.
Be kinder to yourself.
I went longer than I had promised you, so I hope I'm
it's
not
fine.
screwing up
You're
your
fine.
day.
Yeah.
I know you had other things going on today.
You know, I'm out spreading the joy and the glitter.
Yes. All right. Well, I found this conversation to be fantastic, and I appreciate your time very much.
I would come back at any time.
Well, then I you know when I would like you to come. I mean, we could do that again.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
You need to teach a diversity class.
I teach at Nazareth.
Wait, you do?
Yeah, a course on drag.
I did not
And
know.
I'm going to start a course on drag at U of R in the fall.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like just express yourself through drag. It's
Yeah.
just like have fun.
Wow. I want to see.
See, now you'll have to come to a show there and like interview those ones.
Yeah. Well, it's just interesting that the wow, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot.
Got to do what you can.
For Aggy Dune, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you next time.
Cadillac with Tennessee bliss. It was somewhere in Nevada, cold outside. She was shivering in the dark.
You ever notice how people drive around with a garage full of junk while complaining they're broke? If you don't have any friends that do that, it might be you. How about that rusty grill? Maybe you got a pile of copper wire or a random chunk of metal that's been sitting behind the shed since the Clinton administration. Yeah, all of that is money. And that's where Premier Metal Recycling comes in. These guys know value, like real value, not internet math, actual cash value. Whether it's scrap steel, copper, brass, aluminum, Premier Metal will tell you what it's worth and put money in your hand. Honestly, it's one of the few places left where cleaning out your garage can actually pay off. They have two convenient locations, 909 West Linden Avenue in East Rochester and 11 Carn Street in downtown Rochester. You can also check daily pricing and exactly what materials they're buying at premiermetalgroup.com. Or if you're feeling friendly, give them a call directly at 585-436-4020. Premier Metal Recycling, because your junk pile might actually be your emergency fund.